Yeah.
Like,
Okay, you guys ready?
let's do it.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Tailgating. I'm Bruce, and I'm with Marcus and Daryl. And this week, we just passed the first week of the NFL, and we wanted to discuss what we thought, I guess, particularly with our favorite teams. But I want to ask you guys first, because a major change occurred.
Yeah.
Kickoffs.
Yeah.
Kickoff. I mean, this is a big change. It's not just a subtle evolutionary change. I mean, they really a big change. I was wondering, what do you all think about it? Number one, and number two, I was looking at it, and this one I want to think later because I think you brought it up in another episode, Daryl. They want to make it so the returns are further along. And did you see the Cowboy kicker? He kicked it
Mhm.
like 66 yards.
Oh
So it
yeah.
seems like are our kickers going to become like Seth Curry, where they can kick it from anywhere? And if
Pretty
that's the case, I
much.
mean, go back to what Daryl said about a modification of points for the kickoff. Should like a should like you get 3 points for a kickoff, go all the way up to 50 yard, 50 to 60 is 2 points, beyond 60 is 1 point because
Yeah.
you
New
don't
new
want it to
rules for
become just.
fantasy.
We'll see what you guys think, but I'm thinking we don't just need to have a 10-yard return and then kick it, and 10-yard return and kick it. That's gonna be boring. But I don't know. What do y'all think?
You want
Well,
to take it
well,
first, Darren? What's your thoughts first, and I'll share mine.
Yeah, Daryl.
on field goals on fantasy, they do. It is a point system. So if you kick it from so far, it's 2 points, and then 3 points, and so on.
Oh,
And I was also complaining about when you should be allowed to kick a field goal. So not just because it's fourth down, but is it fourth down and you're inside the 20? No, you got to go for it. You see what I mean? Like
oh,
that's
Yeah.
what I want to see happen. Those type of changes. But the kickoff. So this whole system was changed because they were trying to protect the players, not perfect
Right.
them, but
Right.
protect the players.
Hmm.
And here's the thing. I mean, kudos to the NFL for trying to protect the players, but look here. I see more vicious hits with this system in place than the
oh.
regular kickoff in the first place. I mean, I've seen some guys get lit up in this new kickoff system. So, I mean, of course, we have to stick with it at least through the season, but
Yeah.
I just don't see how it benefits. And number two, if the kicker kicked the ball into the end zone, they bring it out to the 30. Why are these kickers kicking the ball into the end zone to give them that automatic yardage? I would kick it short of the end zone and make them prove it. But that's
Right.
just me. I mean, I'm a super coach, and they're not. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I call the shots around here.
I think that's
But
what
yes,
Belichick did, didn't he? I think
Yeah.
Belichick just when he was still coaching, of course. So I think he was calling it up a little bit short too. It's like, why give them the easy yards
right,
if you trust
right.
your special teams? What do you think,
Yeah.
Marcus?
I'm kind of with Daryl on it. I mean, ultimately, the intention, at least the way they communicated it, was a mechanism to provide another layer of safety to the receiving team, and I appreciate it, right? In that through that lens, but I'm still not sold on this format, right? Because it's pros and cons to both, right? And it's like, hey, if you know your team, they're not a strong team in terms of returning the ball. Maybe, the strategy is very much like, kick it into the end zone every single time. Also, when you think about the protection piece of it, it doesn't, these players, especially like these ones that are fast and strong, they don't need 30 yards of momentum to knock the hell out of you.
Yeah.
You know, 10 yards, I'll put it like this here. If I got hit from a player that started 10 yards out, I'm gonna wake up asking for cheeseburgers. Like I promise you. So I don't know. I appreciate it in the fact that you saw over the last decade they've been doing what they can to mitigate concussions. I mean, hell, you saw what happened with Tua just this earlier this week. So I'm always supportive of the NFL taking measures to protect the players. I don't know, to Daryl's point earlier, if this is really going to move the needle that much.
Well, you made a point about how many hits you get that hard. So I was also wondering about punts. I don't think they did anything about punts, but it seems like there's more vicious hits with punts. I mean, they kick it 42 yards, and those guys are on the end. I mean, they can get there just when the ball gets there, and you're vulnerable. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that seems to be a wicked hit too. I know there's no changes there. I was just bringing it up when you say no big changes in injuries. I don't know. For me, it kind of looks the visual of it was kind of different. Just to see everybody just standing there until the ball got touched. I kind of like the movement, just from a visual. But I go with your point. If it does improve safety, okay. It just seems like though what some of these guys are so quick. Also, you get them those fast guys get a little bit of momentum. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if we get more returns for touchdowns too.
Yeah, and I think some of it is also the design of that, right? It's intended to try to speed the game up, keep the energy level higher versus kicking the touchbacks and
Yeah, yeah,
having to kind of wait for the offense to set up. So who knows, right? I mean, we're just barely getting into week two.
right.
I don't think there's been enough data, enough sample size of games played to determine if this is truly going to be a good new rule to take effect for the NFL and make the game more exciting, et cetera, or if this is just going to end up becoming one of those things that didn't really make a big difference and it may change how people think about playing fantasy football or things of
It
that
might
nature.
be.
I don't know.
Well, I
And you know
also
what?
wondering about what you correct me if I'm wrong. The onside kick, is like you can't do an onside kick until like after the fourth quarter, and you have to be behind before you can do an onside kick. Then you have to tell the ref, "I'm doing an onside kick." I guess because I'm going back with I remember the Cowboys, when Jimmy Johnson was coaching,
Jimmy Johnson, yeah.
and the Cowboys were just coming back. They did a onside kick to start a half, and that took them by surprise. I don't quite fully understand that rule. It's like, if you can trick the other team, more power to you.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta I mean, yeah, you can't that's part of the game is strategy and trying to if you're on defense trying to figure out what the offense is looking to do. It's like you can't write the rules to where like players or offenses only have like X number of plays. Like you don't want to make it to where if you're like a defensive coach or whatever, you can say, "Oh, well, based on the new rules, we know they're going to do this," right? It's like there needs to be some spontaneity in the game. Like, don't write it all out for the players. I don't know, Derek. What are your thoughts?
Well, and then too, good luck on seeing a kickoff return for a touchdown
Yeah.
because I think that's almost a no go. I don't think did we see one in preseason? I don't think we even
Mm-mm.
saw one in preseason.
Not that
The
I
one that we
recall.
saw was called back.
Yeah,
So
sure
I
was.
mean, this is going to be man. It's interesting. I mean, like, but hey, not a fan. That's all we need to know. I'm not a fan. You know, not a fan, man. But do you think that this could benefit high school or
Oh,
junior high? I
if it
mean,
reduces injuries, then for the kids, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
right?
Reducing that. You can see those statistics that when a kid gets hurt, more likelihood of any player. But most of the guys in high school, they're fine, but they're not. If you give them a break, the bigger likelihood they're going to get arthritis down the line. So yeah, I'm more in favor of if it's safer for the kids. Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think they should try that at the high school level for sure.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, off this topic, what did you think of the first week of the NFL? Any things that caught you by surprise, or anything, particularly your team? I mean, of course, Cowboys looked pretty good, I thought,
Wow, 40
but
to 0. We'll take that one all day long.
Yeah, yeah. Cowboys look good. I think for the Texans, I think we need to tighten up on defense. We gave up
Yeah.
some big plays. I mean, that offense looks really good, but like I say, man, I mean, I'm not sold on the idea of the Colts offense being that good where they could just throw the ball up in the air and their receivers go get it like they were doing. That's crazy to me. So if we are the Super Bowl contenders that we think we are, man, the
Mhm.
defense got to tighten up this week
Yeah.
and in a hurry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch as many games as I
right.
wanted to, but Texas is one I definitely have my eye on. That's my quarterback for my fantasy football league. So I mean, I'm silently rooting for the Texans all year long with you, Daryl.
Well,
That's
that's
funny. You
hard
have the
too. When you talk about different quarterbacks, I don't know if you noticed. I don't know what's going to happen, but Miami was looking pretty good. But their quarterback, they're talking about maybe he needs to retire because he got another concussion. Someone like Troy Aikman, almost, even though he was still doing okay, he got his bell rung a few too many times. I mean, I didn't see anything lately that he's going to retire, but boy, that can drastically impact that division.
Well, Bruce, I don't think it's so much that it's happened to him, but it's the frequency. It's frequency, right? I mean, you're talking about Tua's taken, I want to say somewhere between 3 or 4 concussions where he either stumbled when he got up, or it took a while for him to get up, or he couldn't return to the game. Like he's had within a very short time frame. I want to say over the last 2 seasons, he's had 4, possibly 5 scenarios play out that fall under that concussion bucket. So I mean, again, they're young, they're super well-oiled machines, but over the period of their lives, like are they playing for the long game? And I'm talking about the game of life, or do you want to try to continue this sport knowing that the more you continue taking these hits, the higher the likeliness that you're going to suffer later in life with all different types of ailments and mental hurdles, or just dealing with the repercussions from those types of hits.
Well, it's like when you said the long term. I saw an interview with Earl Campbell, and he was
Oh
talking
yeah,
because he can hardly walk.
no, yeah.
He said if he knew then what he knows now, he probably wouldn't have played.
Hey, so what do you guys think about this? Talk to me about our good old friend Aaron Rodgers, right? I think in his mind it's like, if Brady can do it, I can do it, right? Is he gonna pull a Brady this year, or is Aaron Rodgers just kind of like, is this like a moot? I mean, not a moot point. I mean, he's still a very high caliber quarterback. I don't see him doing what Brady did when he went to the Buccaneers. I just don't see him replicating that type of magic. I just don't see it happening. I could be wrong. What do you guys
Well,
think?
well, you know me, man. I've been known to put my liking into very weird people. Like someone say Brady's the absolute best in the world, and I'm going, nah, I don't think so. But look, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time, but he's one of my favorites.
He's a winner.
And bruh, but here's the thing, Doc. If you wanted to win, first of all, he is no Brady. He ain't gonna put up Brady nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
we ain't finna compare him to Brady. But if you wanted to at least compete, you should have stayed your tail in Green
Green
Bay.
Bay. Yeah.
Because the culture of winning is there. He had the team to win. He had the staff to win. But then he goes over to New Jersey or whatever it is, New York Jets or
The Jets.
whatever,
Yeah, the Jets.
and
Yeah.
and it's nobody's fault that he got hurt on the fourth play of the game last year. It ain't nobody's fault.
I know,
But
right?
this year, I mean, we're, he don't he don't he don't have it. He may have one of the best running backs in the league. Okay, we'll take that. But nah, come on, man. I mean, he's not gonna put up no big numbers and lead them nowhere. They're not even going to the playoffs, man. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I
And they got a
think,
good defense too.
yeah.
But no.
I think the last, and I want to put this to Bruce. Bruce, what are your thoughts on this one? Like, you pick which team? One, the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I think they are showing that they haven't lost a step. I think
Right.
they still are the team to beat. But the other team I'm a little interested in is the Eagles, right? Like, I mean, there was a
Yes.
lot of misreads. Like, they're feeling the effect. I mean, you wouldn't think that having a center like Kelsey and him retiring would have that much impact on their offensive line. But I mean, it was they had several issues. I think they had like what, 2 or 3 like missed snaps. What do you think?
Well, I still think the Eagles are going to look pretty good this year.
Yeah,
I hate to say that. I'm going with the Cowboys, of course. I got to always go with the Cowboys. So
got to.
I gotta hate the Eagles just because, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate them ever since they booed Bob Hayes. Oh, John,
Right.
remember Bob Hayes?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're
Don't
talking
be
All
about.
booing
right.
Bob. Hey, don't boo Bob. Don't
Don't
do
boo
that.
Bob. Don't.
So, you know, it's awfully hard for me to say they're going to look good. My worry really going back to the Cowboys, they look really good, but, they really don't. Just the questions out about do they have a running game? I don't know. It's not as important as it used to be, I know, but it's going to be by committee. I think it is going to be a big test. Well, they play New Orleans this week,
Yeah.
and the quarterback. I mean, that quarterback, he could be as hot as anybody, but then he could also
Yeah.
not. So sometimes it's almost like which one of them is going to show up. But I think the Cowboy defense is just looking awfully, awfully good. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for them to win. So I'm just going to go my prediction of the Cowboys. Obviously that's my team, but it might look different in the playoffs. But I
Yeah.
think what are they
Well,
won? Like I
this
think
has
they're like
got
16-1 at home recently. So they're
yeah,
really
what
on
they
fire.
they're
So
16-1, but they're also 11-11 against like playoff teams, so over that span of time of 22 games played against those type of top tier contenders. So, they're playing 500 ball when it comes to, the likes of the Eagles and the 49ers. So
yes,
until
yes,
they
yes, that's true.
cross that, until they're able to like not just beat up on the mediocre and weak teams, and they can truly go in there and hand the Eagles a butt whooping, hand the 49ers a butt. They have to do that before that, because listen, Dak just got the contract, right? He is the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL. So Jerry Jones must know something that we don't know. Maybe Jerry Jones has a DeLorean and he went to the future and he saw that if we keep Dak, we're gonna get a Super Bowl. I don't know what it is, but he's made it very clear. Dak is our guy. So you know
He
what?
did. Part of me is thinking like, they could have let Dak play this season out because if he wins the Super Bowl, how many quarterbacks will repeat? Hey, you get your Super Bowl, then he can go on, or whoever. If he doesn't, then let him go. He's worth it. I think I like Dak
I
in
like him
all
too.
games except I think. I
I
mean,
like him
obviously,
until
all these
January
players are
comes
better
around.
than me. I think when he runs up against a good defense, it's hard because I don't think he has a real strong arm to air it out. So I don't think good defenses are worried about him hitting them deep. He might here and there, but that's I think maybe his weakness. But other than that, he's a good face for the Cowboys. He knows the game really well. He's got a good short game.
Yeah.
If he turns around and hand it off, I don't know who he's handing it off to. That's my only concern.
They're gonna miss Pollard. They're gonna miss Pollard like
Yeah.
crazy. I'm trying to understand this whole Ezekiel Elliott comeback, and if that's gonna really materialize. But I don't know. What about you, Darren? What are your thoughts? And not just the Cowboys. What do just in general, like the top contending teams, like who you think has the best chance of like really showing a strong performance this year? Put your Texans aside from your loyalty to the
I'm
team.
not gonna put the Texans aside. Y'all just had a 10-minute conversation about the Cowboys. You want me to not talk about the Texans?
Talk about your Texans.
So top three in the AFC, I'm going with Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, what was the other team? Kansas City, and we'll go with Houston,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can't give you a third because I don't think I really care.
Okay.
In the NFC, I'm going with watch this. In the NFC, I'm going with the Cowboys. I'm going with Green Bay.
Green Bay.
You look
Green
good.
Bay. Okay. And I guess I can say I don't have a third on that one because I don't care either. So, in all likelihood, I would love to see a Cowboy Texan Super Bowl.
Oh,
Mm.
that'd be great, wouldn't it?
That would
Oh
be
man, you talk about the Texas takeover, man. Wouldn't that be fantastic, right? Like the battle of what is it? I-45.
Wouldn't that be great? Where are they
yeah,
playing the Super Bowl this year?
New Orleans,
New
right?
Orleans. Yeah, New
Oh,
Orleans.
really? Wow.
Oh
New
yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, New Orleans in the
Yeah, I'll
bowl.
have to show you. I got a program from Super Bowl V when they played it in New Orleans. I'll have to whip that out. It's pretty cool. Got some iconic pictures inside of it. I mean, they couldn't have too many. It was only the fifth, but still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Who did the halftime performance?
It's probably like a high school band or something, right? Like they didn't really start doing the big performances until Michael Jackson in 93, right? That was like
Yeah, I
the
think they
first,
used
yeah.
to have I think it was Up With People. That was halftime. And the commissioner was like, if I have to listen to Up With People one more time.
Yeah. Yeah. I read somewhere, and I know this isn't exactly sports, but kind of, right? I read somewhere, or maybe I saw it on an article, right? The sitcom, or not the sitcom, but the sketch comedy In Living Color, which was like a huge, huge show in the early 90s. They had created a format to where they would run an episode during the halftime of the Super Bowl in like 90 and 91, possibly 92. And because the NFL felt like they were losing viewership, that's why they had Michael Jackson headline the 93 Super Bowl. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So like the 92 Super Bowl, I think they said like tens of millions of people switched over to Fox to watch In Living Colors
oh,
episode.
wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's
Well,
what
they
that's
picked the
what that's
right
what
one.
got
I think Michael Jackson's still got to be one of the best, if not the
yeah.
best. I mean, that was
Yeah,
quite a performance.
pre-
Was it LA? Wasn't it in LA
I think so, but
where he
man,
popped out of the Coliseum on both sides? And then,
yeah, yeah.
it was incredible. Really, I
It
mean,
was
that was
it,
a really
it
good
it
show.
stands there for like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
4 minutes
that's
and
right.
just kind of like look.
Hey, look, and he did the whole halftime performance with the little microphone, right? But
Uh-huh.
then he wanted to address the crowd, and he grabs another microphone and go, "I just want to thank everybody."
Oh yeah.
You're like, what was this thing for all the time?
Yeah,
What was
he's
this
just
microphone for,
oh
bro?
yeah, yeah, definitely lip syncing. But you also got to put the Prince Purple Rain. Like
Bro, that
he's
was
he's
incredible too,
singing
wasn't it?
Purple Rain, and then it starts
And,
raining. Like
and
I
he still
mean,
nails it.
I was like, how do you beat that?
No,
I remember that.
that was incredible too.
Yeah.
And you two had a good performance. The one
Yes,
that you
you
did,
too.
because that was right after 9/11. When he opened up his vest and had the
Oh
flag, and
yeah, that's
then
right.
coming
That's
down
right.
behind him was all the names of the victims. So
Yeah, no, that was
that was
very,
heartfelt, I guess.
yeah, very heartfelt. Yep.
All
Oh
right. Well,
well.
I think we've covered it for today. We got week one, so we'll get some more. But everyone out there, I need you to like, subscribe, but mostly give us your opinion. You might have well, I can't say a better idea, but you might, but give us your opinion. Who's going to continue on? Who's looking good? Who's looking disappointing? But let us know your ideas. Also, maybe let us know your halftime favorite teams or performances. We can talk about that one day. All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Anything else, you guys?
Nope, that's about it.
All right. Thanks, y'all. See you
All
later.
right.